Hi, good afternoon. Hi, my name is Barbara Butler. I'm the host of Experience, Strength, and Hope. Tonight, I'm having part 2 of Marriage Talk with the Men. Last week, we talked with the women on their perspectives on marriage, and this week, we're going to talk with the husbands. I hope it's something that you enjoy, and we will see you soon.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kevin. I'm from Experience, Strength, and Hope. And today I have with me
Gilbert Shaw,
Gilbert Shaw.
known as Please Say the Baby.
Please say baby. And Timothy Diggs. And we're here to talk about, see how well we know our wives and how well we answer some questions about our marriage, our wives, and about, life in general with the spouse. Here's my first question. How long you been married?
I've been married 29 years. It'll be 29 years January 29th, and we've been together 35.
That's a long time.
Well, we've been together 3 years,
Three
plus
years.
years. Been married 2 years, 7 months, and like 3 days.
Wow, newlyweds,
Yeah.
still newlyweds. Let me ask you, why did you get married, man?
Well, marriage is important because I realize that everything God tells us not to do, when we do anything outside of the confines of marriage, we get ourselves into trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So it was always my desire to want to get married and do things God's way. That's why I wanted to get married, and I didn't want to continue living in a way that was wrong and displeasing unto God. So I know I had to get married because I couldn't live that way.
Okay, cool. I've been married 21 years. I've known Barbara for about 22 years. 5 years before we got married. And it's been a joy. Is marriage what you thought it would be? For me, let me just say, no, it wasn't. Marriage is something that, for me, it's work. It's joy. When we got married, marriage is what you make it.
Pretty much.
You can have a lot of outside forces coming against you because they see that you're happy and they're not. So, you have to be strong, and you have to really know your spouse, and your spouse really have to know you,
Well, God has
to
to.
stay,
Sorry about that.
No, go right in.
I was gonna say God has to be the core of your relationship.
Yes,
That's
he
the only
does.
threesome you should be having.
That's it.
And
That's
I
it.
figure like this: anything that means something to you, you gonna put time into it.
Mm-hmm.
So why not put time into your marriage, and then you only gonna make it what you want it to be.
That's right.
If you don't put no time in it, it's not going to uphold. So you got to put some time and thought in it. And marriage is not about being happy. Marriage is to make you holy.
Okay.
Get closer to God.
Okay.
And our happiness comes from God.
Yeah.
So if you're happy with God, you're gonna be happy with your wife as well.
Absolutely.
Because all your strength comes from Him.
Yes, that's true. Come on,
Yeah, as
Will.
long as you're doing all the right things, being honest and faithful, and not playing the games.
That's right.
Not playing games with your wife. Marriage can be beautiful, but if you're playing those games, both of y'all can be playing games. You know what I mean? And that's when you're gonna have a rough marriage.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's right. Do you still hang out with single men?
No, not really. I don't have a problem with that, but I slow down on hanging with single guys. You know what I mean?
How about you?
I have single friends. We friends, but
Right.
I hang out with my wife.
Right. As for me, practically, what you both said. I basically don't hang out. If I do hang out, it is with my wife. And it's a joy to be with her. You grow, you learn, and it keeps the marriage strong.
Yeah, well, I hang out with my wife too, but I try to, cause she had more, I I'd probably say she had more friends than I do, and a lot of her girlfriends are single. So a lot of times they be doing things, and sometimes she invite me, and I wind up being the only guy there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I fall back a little bit now, and just kind of like let her go ahead and like have her moment with her girlfriends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I feel she out there too long, I hit that phone.
You know what I'm saying?
What's happening.
You know, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
You
There
know
you
what I
go. Okay, moving right along. If you with a married friend, then we're gonna move on. Do you believe in marriage counseling?
Of course, because you have to get somebody who's unbiased, who's neutral, and give you, you know what I mean, advice that's going to help you and not going to hurt you. I'd rather have somebody tell me, hey, that's wrong, this and that, than agree with me, and then I'm set up for failure. Yes, marriage counseling is very important.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Yeah, we didn't do marriage counseling, man. We dived in head first when we got married, right? But recently, a few years ago, I was asking Kim, did she want to do counseling? You know what I mean? And she was saying she didn't need no counseling to go somebody to tell us what she already knows is wrong. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was asking her did she want to do counseling, but I just talked to somebody not too long ago. I'm gonna do some counseling for me first,
Oh, yeah?
and then I'm gonna pull her in and get counseling
Oh,
together. Yeah. Just because we've been together or been married 29 years, don't mean that we can't have counseling.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
Because I feel like that we need counseling to counsel other people. Because a lot of people,
Is that right?
a lot of people
Okay.
always ask us,
Right.
how our marriage work.
Yeah.
So we can't counsel nobody if we never been counseled.
That's right.
So,
Okay. We haven't been to counseling, but we have been counseled. Because if you know the Bible and if you know the Lord, then that's counseling. Because if you're whatever you're doing that's not within the marriage the way it's supposed to be, and if you're rooted in God, and if you believe in the Lord and the laws of the Bible, then when you're not doing what you're supposed to do, that will convict you. Your faith will convict you. If you're rooted and say that you are in the Bible, in the Lord, then you can be convicted. All you got to do is read those scriptures, and you will get counseling. You will get everything you need. Not saying that going to counseling and getting somebody else's opinion is not important, because I think it is. I'll listen to anybody what somebody has to say, and what's for me or what's for us is for us. But if you really want to get some gut level counseling, read them scriptures and then read them again. And you'll get all the answers that you need from them scriptures. That's really right there. Any questions you all have? I know you full of them, man. I know you want. Come on, Wade. Give me something, bro.
oh man, well.
Now we off the script.
Okay, well.
Now let's talk. How about you, Tim? Come on, man. Timothy.
You can call me Tom. That's fine.
Okay, cool.
I don't have any
You
questions.
don't have any
Okay, well, I'm gonna
questions?
go ahead, man.
Come on,
I'm
we.
gonna go ahead. Like I asked, always ask all the married couples, right?
Yeah.
How long do you think a sex session should last?
Okay, I'll go first. I'll bite. I don't think it should be any type of limit on that. It shouldn't be a limit on it. I mean, if you there, I mean, if you with your significant other, it don't take 2, 3, 4, 5 hours to, and then you don't have to be no minute man either. But
Right.
I'm just saying, it doesn't take an hour for me to express my love to my woman You know, it all depends on the mood, the atmosphere. It all depends. It just all depends.
That play a part in it.
You know,
yeah, that play a part.
It doesn't take. Especially if we've been together the way we've been together, we know what it takes for each of us to get to where we need to go. Mm-hmm. So it's just for us, how long of a ride do we want to go before we get to where we're trying to go? Yeah. Some days it may be a long ride.
That's right.
Some days, look, I'm tired.
That's right.
Got to get up in the morning.
That's right.
Hit it and quickly. Let's go to bed.
Now, I just was great to say, it don't have to be that all the time. It don't have to be that all the time. But my mark, I would like to say an hour.
Is that right?
Yeah. You know what I mean? But I'm saying that's a mixture of the foreplay and everything.
Yeah, all day. That's what I'm saying.
And then to me, foreplay starts all day.
Foreplay right now. Whatever. I mean, she sitting over there look at it. She biting her thumbs now.
You know what I mean?
So, foreplay, that's, yeah, right.
Yeah.
So,
I would say there's no time.
No.
Just go with the flow.
Right. Exactly.
Right. So how many days out of the month do you think?
Well, see,
that'll be something that had to be between you and your spouse. Y'all will have to make an agreement on that.
Yeah. And then, for me,
because every couple's different.
That's right.
Yeah, everybody's different. I ain't going by numbers or how many times of this, how many times of that. Because sometimes it may be 2 or 3 times that day. Sometimes it might be just once that day. It all depends, man.
Yeah, it do.
So time with love ain't got nothing to do with it when it comes to that.
So how often should you date your woman?
Every day.
I think, you should date. You should do with your woman the same thing you did in the beginning to get it. You gotta do the same thing to keep it.
Right. But when I say date, I'm talking about like fancy restaurants, or you know what I mean.
It shouldn't be no limit on it.
You know
that's your wife. That's your queen.
Yeah.
You want the very best for her, and she want the very best for you.
And for me, I don't have to leave the house to date her. We can set up something right here in the house. Or maybe we can do it in a different part of the house. Mm-hmm. So far as dating or treating her or something. Mm-hmm. Every now and then we can go out and do this, that, and the other. But for me, I'm creative. Well, at least I think I am. So
well, I know me and my wife, we like to go out.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with the house, but we like to go out.
Yeah.
And be out in the public and enjoying the festivities.
Yeah, we do too.
Yeah.
We do too.
And I guess for us, we're a mix of the two. We can hang around the house a lot. She probably likes to go more than I do.
Yeah.
Now, I remember a time when it was reversed. I wanted to always be out, and she wanted to always be in.
Yeah, we like to go out and about.
I think you can be. You don't have to be routine.
Exactly.
Sometimes you can just do things out of spur of the moment.
Right.
And my wife like to plan things sometimes, but I'm like, we ain't got to plan everything. Let's just go with the flow. Let's just go have some fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you think about a wife submitting to her husband?
Okay, that's a good one.
A wife mentoring the husband?
Submitting.
Submitting to her husband? I would like my wife to submit to me to the fullest. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm submitted to her to the fullest.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And both of y'all submitting to God.
That's right.
Yeah.
I kind of feel the same way, Submission is a two-way thing.
Yeah.
Just like life, you give and you take.
You can't.
Depends on them.
Yeah. You can't have her to do something that you're not willing to do.
That's right.
They got to go both ways.
Yeah.
That's right.
But then she has to know where the buck stops, because according to the Bible, we're responsible for our wife and our children.
We are.
And so, she'll have a suggestion, I'll have a suggestion, but then we have to agree on, and then sometimes she I might not, look, I'm the head of the family. You have a good suggestion, but no, let's go this way.
Yeah, so I mean,
so sometimes she has to be willing to follow, her man's lead.
Yeah.
But sometimes us brothers get that submitting part, and we go a little bit too far with it.
That's right.
They're like, I'm the boss. You gonna do what I say? Do yada 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 yada. And they're not supposed to be like that.
No, not
God is the boss.
Yeah.
And we're both His children.
Yes.
And we have to be careful how we treat our wives, because me and my wife was reading the other day where the Bible says you're supposed to be gentle and kind with your wife. You're not supposed to treat her like some guys out there on the football field or whatever the case may be. You got to be gentle with them.
Yeah.
And if we're not doing right by our wives, the Bible says our prayers will not be answered.
Yeah,
and that's a serious thing.
I believe I'm gentle and kind to my wife. I treat my wife like a queen. I believe she treat me like a king. But one time, like I said, I don't have a problem with dealing with single friends of mine. But I slowed down on hanging out with a lot of single buddies of mine, you know what I mean? And my wife got a lot of single girlfriends. And at one time, she was kind of like moving like her single girlfriends, you know what I mean? Every time I turn around, you here, you there, you there, you there, you know what I mean? So I had to tell her that, you need to slow down. You're a married woman. You moving like you're single. You know what I mean? You need to slow down.
Right.
You know what I mean? And she did do just that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, like I say, we are the head. But don't get it twisted. They have authority, probably more than we do.
Of course.
We're held responsible, but women.
It's just like the chessboard.
It's
just like
we are the same in everything else except in physical stature. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only way the wife was weaker than the husband in physical stature and strength.
Yeah.
Other than that, everything else is equal.
Absolutely right.
Okay, I have another question for y'all. If you were hanging out with a married friend and he wasn't acting like he was married while you guys was out, what's your response?
I'll check him. I'll check him. I'll tell him that he shouldn't be doing whatever it is that he's doing. He shouldn't be doing that. You know what I mean? He wouldn't want his wife to be doing the things that he's doing. You know what I mean? So I'll check him. I'll tell him that's not right. That's not right.
I don't even think I would want to hang out with him. Now, if he asks me why, then I can go into detail and tell him why.
Yeah.
Because you're a married man, living like a single man. You got single men who want to be married, and you're doing just the opposite.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Because then you're guilty by association.
That's right.
Because
what
do you have in common with him?
Right.
And if he's doing this,
That's right.
you know what I'm saying? So,
sometimes if you're hanging out with someone that is doing that, and your wife will think, well, why are you hanging out with that person? You must be doing
condoning
what they doing,
absolutely.
or part of it somehow.
Yeah.
That's right.
Or not only that, what that person might do, you may not be with it at first, then you may be with it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So why even put yourself in that situation?
In that position, absolutely right.
Okay. I want to ask, what do you guys think about having separate and joint bank accounts in your marriage?
There's nothing wrong with it as long as you got one account where you take care of all the bills. I don't mind her having her separate account, and she don't mind me having my second account.
Yeah, well, that's how we got it.
It should be nothing wrong with that.
That's how we got it. We don't have a problem with finances. We share.
Yeah, the main priority is to get all them bills taken care of. And then when you have left over, you can put in your account. Whatever she has left over, she can put in her account.
If I get a high-end item, I like him to get one too.
So before you buy a high-end item, do you talk it up with your spouse, or do you
we discuss before we buy it. You know what I mean? Half the time she helped me pick it out. You know what I mean? So if I get me a high-end pair of shoes or something, she gonna get some too. If not that same day, maybe a week or two later, we get her some too. Or first right, she'll get them and then I'll get them.
Repeat the question.
Okay.
Do you discuss with your spouse before you make a high-end purchase?
Yeah.
All the time?
Yeah. And I'll tell you why. A happy wife, a happy home. So, I wouldn't buy a high-end item without discussing it with you. Because we're supposed to be partners. So, I wouldn't do that. Okay. Only way I would do that if I was buying a high-end item for you. That would be the only way.
You shouldn't make buy any high item things without talking to your spouse. Because you might go in and get some $500, and my wife might say, oh, we got some $500 that need to be paid.
Oh yeah.
But now that's gone.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you have to communicate.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy a high-end item knowing that I had something like that, no. I wouldn't,
saying-
I would,
I'm
I would
saying
be responsible.
Yeah.
If I was to buy a high-end item without discussing it with her, it would be because I had everything else squared away.
No, I'm saying it from the standpoint, you took care of the bills that you knew of, but you had this one bill that you told the people that you was going to pay. And your wife was the one who actually said, oh, we got that. We had to take care of it. I forgot about that. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
And you spent the money without talking to her and didn't know that you had something to pay. What's your advice?
Hold on, let's go back to that. You gonna give me that item back so I can take care of that bill?
Or
Okay, all right, thank you. Now you can go ahead.
what's your advice to a friend that might be having marital problems?
Counseling.
Trust God.
Counseling.
I gotta go back to God.
Yeah, that's
I gotta go back to God because I'm telling you, you can get all the counseling you want. Trust God.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
Trust God.
But you know what I mean?
Because see, if you married and if you're a Christian, let's talk from a Christian because that seems like where we at, and we are. Trust God. Trust God.
Yeah, well, to me,
because
that's
if
what
you're rooted, I got to go back to what I said before. Your faith is going to convict you. You can get all the counseling you want and leave out of this and blah, 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 blah. Your faith will convict you.
Yeah, but you can trust God too.
Yeah, you can trust God.
Trust God and still,
But maybe they're able
to be doing it.
Yeah. Maybe they're able to explain something to you that the both of you can understand that you're not explaining, or maybe she's not explaining right. It can bring some type of closure. Okay. I'm not knocking what you said.
No, I understand. I mean, we all have different points of
Yeah,
view.
but it's gonna be a process anyway. You can trust God and still be cheating.
Yeah.
It's like
but
we read
the same way with the counsel.
But look, we can read the Bible. We can read the Bible
and still be cheating.
Absolutely.
We can read the Bible and may not get a clear understanding of what it is right now. And then that one time you read, the Holy Spirit revealed it to you.
That's what
and that might be
exactly right.
You already a year in. You already a year in cheating.
Yeah.
A year or two or something cheating. You know what I mean? It might catch you. It might catch you a month. Or it might catch you 2 years later. You know what I mean?
But you know you wrong.
Yeah.
But you know you wrong.
You know you're wrong.
Yeah.
But
a
you
lot
still
of
doing
people
it.
do stuff and know they're wrong, but they still do it.
Yeah.
So
even in counseling.
Well, pastors say it all the time. How can something be so good, feel so good,
Right.
Be so wrong. Yeah.
You know?
That's right.
So how do you feel about your wife sharing issues that you have in your marriage with friends and family?
It depends on what it is and how it's explained.
Yeah.
Right.
Because certain things should stay in between us.
That's right.
Exactly.
Now you can make an example, not per se verbatim what happened, or give an example, but what happened shouldn't be exposed to certain people because everybody's not mature enough and a person of integrity to keep that with themselves. That'll be shared. So you got to be careful with that. Everybody's not a person of integrity.
That's right. What their motives.
And then they're going to be looking at you all funny and looking at you, your spouse all cross-eyed, this, that, and that. They're not going to tell you, but that's what they're going to be doing.
And it gives another person a chance to ease in there. And take advantage of the situation. Yeah. To show division. So
keep coming.
That's like if Kevin kind of changing something. That's like a brother Kevin telling me something. He said, "Hey, bro, I'm dealing with A, B, C, D, and E. Come on, bro, let's pray. Let's talk about it, or whatever the case may be. That's supposed to stay between me, him, and God. I'm not supposed to. Hey, guess what? Kevin told me this, that, and that. I could have been the last person that brother decided to come to. He mess around and do something and just check out. How would that make you feel? Not only would you be embarrassing, but how would God feel about that? That's the type of things that I look at. You got to be careful. If somebody come to you and tell you something in integrity, you got to be a person of integrity. That's it.
The difference sometimes between women and men is that sometimes we feel better when we're emotional. So we feel better when we share certain things. Some things we shouldn't say, and we probably wish that we didn't say to somebody after we said it. And not all the time taking into consideration that this person might go and call this person and tell this person, and then everything that's going on in your marriage is through the family or through everybody that you know. I know men, you guys tend to don't share much at all. No. But as women, sometimes we do. We got to call and say, girl, do you know what? You know what happened? You know what he did? And sometimes that, to me, cause problems in the relationship and the marriage down the line when you share things that you shouldn't have shared outside of the marriage. Like you said, everything that happens in your house should stay in your house. But that don't always happen because, like I said, we got to call somebody and tell somebody, and they sometimes call somebody and tell somebody.
They're the first one to tell you.
They'll say, don't tell nobody.
I wouldn't do that if I was you. I wouldn't take it if I was you.
Right.
But you ain't got nobody.
Right. Exactly.
So of course you ain't gonna take it because you ain't got nobody.
Exactly.
I'm gonna tell you because you my girlfriend. Then the girlfriend gonna tell her other girlfriend. So
I mean, I have experienced sharing something with somebody and thought it was in confidence, and they repeated it to my husband, like not went and told him, but like casually mentioned it, which made me feel a certain type of way and made Kevin feel a certain type of way.
That's right.
So then I realized that even people you think that's the closest to you, you still shouldn't share certain, especially intimate things or just personal things that's going on in your marriage or relationship because of the way it could make the person feel if they found out about it, or the way it made me feel because I was like, I shouldn't have shared that. That was something that was hurtful to my spouse, and I should have kept it to myself.
But they're not on that time because you're in your emotions, you're in your feelings. Like you said, you get to talking, and then you started sharing things that you shouldn't even share. And by the time you think about it, like, oh, it's already the rabbit's already out the bag.
Trying to vent.
Yeah.
And then
I think you. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I think you need to pray. I think you need to first think about it, then pray about it, and then meditate on it. That's what I think.
I know that now. I mean, I know that now after the fact. But it was a teachable moment to me.
But it's got to be somebody who you know had a good track record or whatever. Like I said, you're not gonna really go into details what it is. It just a brief example or something that you give them. You know what I mean?
And then it was a learning experience for us because it tested it tested first of all my faith. It tested my trust in my wife. You know, it tested my relationship with the person that knew the information and was sharing it. You know, and then it tested our marriage as a whole. And
y'all made it through.
you know, with the help of the Lord, you know,
Made it through.
we worked it out. You know,
And sometimes people are hating on you. They don't want you. They don't want
They
you.
don't always know that
Yeah.
somebody's hating on you. You know, you think you always think that certain people got your back, especially if it's family or your close friend that you know a long time. So you think that they got your back, knowing. I mean, then you find out that.
and
Yeah,
then,
they didn't want you together from the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and they mad because they didn't get the reaction that they thought they were looking for from the couple.
Right.
You know, oh, they still strong. They still, you know. Then they really mad. You know,
I
so.
was telling my wife about one of my friends when we had first got married, and I introduced her to the guy. Guy come out of his mouth. He was like joking, but he was kind of like hating. He was like, "How all the ugly dudes get the pretty women?" I'm looking like,
Yeah.
what? I told my wife about it. And she got kind of mad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who are you to dictate who I'm supposed to be married, how they supposed to look,
Yeah.
how much they make, or whatever the case may be? But people will do that.
You find out what people really be thinking, you know. you find out what's really on that person's mind, because you know that's supposed to be your boy or somebody, you know.
That you think that they would be happy for you.
And you find out what they really thinking, you know. So, you know, a person like that, okay. But I'll be talking to you, dealing with you with a long handled spoon.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
And that's what I do.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Wait, is this something you want to...
No, I'm just waiting on the next question.
So I know you have been married for a long time. Long time. So how has it been dealing with in-laws? With your in-laws?
My in-laws they was great. I had no problems at all. Kim's mom, she always lived with us. Everything was fine. I mean, I never had a moment where I was like pissed off or disappointed with them. I just took care of them too.
So you know, some people when they get married, they don't get along with their in-laws. So what advice do you have for somebody that don't get along with their in-law? Because a lot of times, I mean, we said this in our women's talk, people would try to keep because Kevin don't get along with my family, I would try to keep him from going to be around that person.
I probably really can't speak on that because I didn't have an issue with my in-laws. Everything was fine. They like me.
Not even if it doesn't pertain to you. What's your thought on if someone has an issue with the mother-in-law and their father-in-law?
I probably would say put distance in the situation. Don't bother with them if they don't bother with you. You know what I mean? If I had that situation going on, her parents or something didn't like me, I just wouldn't go to their house, and they can't come to mine.
But would you try to stop her?
I wouldn't stop her from going. Like Thanksgiving, she had to go over there. She'd go ahead over there. You know what I mean? And I'll see her when she get back.
I would be curious to find out what the problem is. You know, why don't you? What have I done to make you not like me?
Yeah, well, some people not just.
I would just be
some
curious.
Some people not going to tell you.
Right.
Yeah, but I would confront them just to ask them. You know, what is it about me?
Sometimes it's not even nothing. It's just something small.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or it can be, I have taken away that safety net that you had. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that too.
That, you know, she's no longer available as she once was because now she has the responsibility that, you know, you got to take care of me.
Right.
Well, I can do that easy. For me, I can do that easy. If I notice that you don't bother with me, I ain't going to bother with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I would, because the way I feel about my wife, I'm still going to respect them.
Absolutely.
Do whatever else I need to do, so me and my wife won't have conflict between us. But however, if they still feel as though like they don't care for me or whatever the case may be, I'm just gonna kind of like, I'm gonna be respectful, I'm gonna be nice, but I'm just gonna stay to myself.
Because I think sometimes they put the person in an awkward situation. You're trying to please your family and you're trying to please your spouse.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you always feel
in the middle.
Right, you're in the middle. Which you don't want to be.
No.
But
and that's an awkward situation.
Terrible
Very
situation.
awkward.
Trying to keep the peace on both sides. And it's hard to do that.
Yeah. Well, I would tell you keep the peace in your household first.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely. Because when they gone, it's still me and you. Thank God I ain't had that problem.
Ain't nothing like walking around the house and your wife not speaking to you.
Yeah. Man.
You know.
Yeah.
So here's another question. So when you guys get in arguments with your spouse, do you tend to go to bed angry? Do you resolve it, or how do you handle it?
For me, I say what I have to say, and then as far as I'm concerned, I'm through. I'm not angry no more. I don't hold it. I don't hold it. I say what I have to say, and I get it off for me. You know. I
get upset. I get upset, but there's nothing wrong with getting upset. It's what you do when you get upset.
Yeah.
Sometimes I might have to take a walk. Sometimes I might have to take a drive. Sometimes I might need to go to another part of the house.
Absolutely.
Go process. I'm a processor. I process things and I meditate on things. And then when I come to some pray about it, come to something. If I know I was wrong, then I need to go and make things right with her.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But we try not to go to bed angry with each other. We at least, even if we don't get things resolved the night before, at least try to apologize so that you can
Make
go
the
to
atmosphere
bed.
right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Because if not, you allowing the devil to have a stronghold in your marriage while that stuff is still festering. And by morning time come, he done played all in your
While you were asleep.
Yeah.
You had all kinds of stuff going on in your head while you were asleep. Wake up with an attitude and you trying to figure out, well, why are you mad? Because you went to sleep, man.
Yeah, we don't go to we don't if we have a disagreement or something like that, we don't go to bed fussing and fighting. We might have an attitude.
Right.
She might try to sleep on the edge of the bed, but I roll over there though. At least put my foot on her, on my hand or something, try to, you know what I mean? She might say, get off me, but I ease over there again anyway, you know what I mean? So we don't hold a grudge in the household too long, maybe a day or two. And there's been times I might go downstairs and sit down and watch TV or something and just let her have the bedroom. Then I ease up there when I get sleepy.
So do you always gotta be right?
No, I don't have to. I don't have to. If I'm wrong, I don't have a problem with listening and apologize and try not to do it again.
I give up my right to be right to make things work.
Right.
That's it. That's absolutely right. That's where I'm at with that one.
But if I'm wrong, I can admit that I'm wrong. There's no problem.
Yeah.
Don't have nothing to do with pride, ego, or nothing like that.
Right.
Because I got to do what God will require me to do.
Right.
So that my prayers can be answered.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I know sometimes some men don't like to be, they can't admit when they're wrong.
That's not good.
It doesn't mean that you're weak because you admit that you're wrong, but sometimes I think that your wife can see things a different perspective than what you can. Not necessarily that you got to listen to what your wife say all the time, but sometimes I think you have to allow yourself to be open to,
Absolutely.
okay, maybe the way my wife is suggesting it, or maybe the way she wants to do it is okay and it's fine.
And by doing that, I have learned to take advantage of my wife's gifts. The stuff that I'm not so good at and the stuff that she is good at, I have evolved enough to understand and to know that utilize her gifts for the betterment of the whole.
Right.
For the family. She's good at this. Why not let her run with this?
Right.
Advise me, let me know what's happening, blah, blah, blah. But this is what you do. You better than me at it. So I have learned to utilize and take advantage and appreciate more than anything else the gifts that my wife brings to the marriage.
Okay, so when you say that, so now my next question is do you think there should be roles in a marriage? Like, should one person do all of the cooking or should one person do the cleaning? Do you feel that that's the wife's job and the man's job is to provide?
No. We all in this together.
No, I don't.
If something's dirty and I get here first, then if there's dishes in the sink and I get here before you, then, and I'm, I can do the dishes. Or if I know I'm going to get here before you and I can start dinner. So, I don't have a problem.
Yeah, well, I can't cook, so. I can do everything else, but I can't cook. But I be trying to help her prepare dinner now when she start cooking. I like peel potatoes or something like that.
I think some men think that the man is the provider. You know what I'm saying? And then when you get home, dinner should be made and certain things should be in order. But nowadays, we go out to work just like y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Some of us bring home more money than y'all do. So I don't think it should be certain roles or expectations. I think that we should come together so that we have unity in our house.
Right.
Yeah.
If you see something that need to be done, do it.
Do it.
Right.
Why am I waiting for you?
If you get home, like you said, if you get home early, check out the meat, the vegetables, whatever. Let the meat thaw out or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, probably while she halfway home, the meal is halfway cooked. Go upstairs and run her bath water. Massage her feet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Help her bring her stuff
Yeah.
From the car to the house.
Yeah, that's right.
It's the little
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
It's the little things.
I know she like the bed to be made, so I make the bed. If she gone before I, she gone before I leave, I make the bed up so she can come home to a nice clean bedroom, the bed made up, and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
I think some men tend to do that though. They
do.
No, I take everything outside. You take everything inside.
Right.
You can't expect for her to do this and do that for their house to be spick and span. If she go out and work 8 hours like you do.
Now I'm gonna tell you what
That's
I don't
unfair.
want my wife to do it, and it's just because I just don't. I think it's a bad look, and I don't think that her as my wife, as my queen, that she should have to do that. Take out the trash. She can be here all day long. If the trash is still there when I get here, I ain't gonna ask her why you ain't take the trash out. I'm gonna just go ahead on and take the trash out. I don't want my wife taking out no trash. That's just me. Let the trash sit there. I'm gonna get it. You know, I just don't want my wife. I don't know. That's just me. For me,
Well, my wife
I don't want my wife to take out no trash.
My wife or daughters don't take out the trash.
I don't want my
I do
wife.
that.
Yeah.
So I have a question. So, how do you feel if your wife corrects you in public? Do you feel that that's a no, you shouldn't do that? If you see something that you should wait till we get home and correct me then? Or do you don't mind if they maybe whisper in your ears about something?
Whispering in your ear is fine. But when other people are looking and they're engaged there, that's not a good look. That's embarrassing.
Right.
You can tell me, hey, you're wrong, or whatever the case may be, but like you said, at a tone that we can hear each other. Now, if you say, oh, you're wrong, that's not good.
Real bad.
That's embarrassing. And you could at the time, I guess if you're out with some friends or whatever and they do something wrong, she may look at you, you may look at her.
Cause you know that look.
She'll go with you.
You know that look.
She'll agree with you while you're there, but at home,
but she can still give you that look. She'll be agreeing with you, but give you that look, and you know like.
I feel as though, like
my
wife always says, if you're upset if something going on, the countenance on your face shouldn't show. Nobody else should know that there's something wrong except you and your spouse.
That's right.
Yeah, well, Kim get me right now and then sometimes we might be out and I had me a little bit too much Patron or something, man. You know what I mean? I get cutting up and when we get home, I be thinking everything cool. Right before we go to bed, she checked me. You know, you shouldn't have did this. You were doing too much, or that's why I don't like you to drink, and no more than 2 drinks when next time we go out because you don't know how to act. She give me sometimes. Right now, then she might give me in the public too, in front of everybody. Yeah.
So but no, I think she should whisper in your ear, pull your arm, or
That's right now.
or give you that look.
Oh, she do that too.
look. You know that look when you
Or to kick up under the table or something.
bang your daggone foot. Yeah.
Or squeeze your hand or
Yes.
something.
Or the nudge. The elbow in your side, your rib.
So do you have any encouraging words for somebody that's thinking about getting married?
No.
I do.
Yeah, go ahead first, because you knew.
Well, I'm going to give you my example. The relationship and the marriage I had, because this is my second marriage. The first marriage didn't work because I chose her. I didn't see God like I was supposed to. So that's why my failure came about. So I said, this time when I get married, I'm going to go and pray to God and ask him for the woman that he wants me to have, not the one who I think I might want or I feel I might need. I said, I'm going to allow God to send somebody my way.
Now, do y'all let family and friends move in with you guys?
Yes. We did. Let me get this one, we.
Well, no, hold on.
Let me get this one, we. Let me get this one, we.
No, you gotta go one at a time.
I know.
You long
Let me
with
get
it.
this
You
week.
long. So
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
But like I
Rick.
said, when Kim's mom was living, she always did live with us. Every time we had somewhere, had our own spot, she lived with us, and we just took care of her. We didn't have a problem. We was comfortable with her living there.
Well, I guess I don't mean like a family member. I'm saying like somebody saying I'm having hard times. Can I come stay with you till I get on my feet? Like a family member.
Right. It depends on who it is, and we'll make room if need be. Because there's been times where we was trying to do things like when we was trying to buy the house, we were trying to move somewhere to save money. We wound up moving with my sister-in-law. We stayed with her probably a year or so to save money so we can buy the house. And we actually asked a few family members, can we move in with them? And one of them said nah. One of them said yeah, but it was a whole lot of. I go to bed at 7 o'clock. I don't need nobody in my kitchen at 7:30 and stuff like that. So we wind up moving with Kim's sister, my sister-in-law. We stayed with her like a year before we bought the house. So if need be, depends on who it is, and we'll make room.
Go ahead, Tim.
I can't say yes or no. I guess it just has to depend on the situation. I don't want to say no, I'm not going to do this, do that. I guess I would really have to look and see what the situation really is. And if the person really responsible and accountable, I will have to go with that. But if they just, they did and they not doing nothing.
Right.
Oh, it's going to be work though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like when we stayed with my sister-in-law, we just tried to stay out the way. We made sure we cleaned up behind ourselves.
Right.
You know what I mean? We didn't do a whole lot of in and out and cooking and all that. We just stayed in the room. The kids stayed out there in the living room, or they was gone during the day. You know what I mean? They slept on the blower bed in the living room. Me and Kim had a room. We just stayed out the way. We paid her a couple of dollars every week, and that was that.
Of course, we have done it.
Multiple times.
Yeah. We've had family members come and stay with us because we just can't see nobody, out in the street. So we have, on both sides of our family, a number of people have come and stayed with us. We just did what we have to do. Because we're just that type of people, Family helps family.
That's right. But there got to be a time limit on it.
Well, sometimes that's the problem.
Yeah.
I realize if you don't discuss that
in the beginning,
somebody could be with you like 2-3 years.
That's
and
right.
then even if you do discuss it,
and they save it down.
even if you do discuss it with them,
That's true.
because they feel they family. They feel okay. Yeah,
That
it's
you're
been a year,
obligated
but
to do it.
you family.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna see me on the street.
And even
so
on the time frame, you
exactly,
ain't gonna kick me out.
exactly. You ain't
file
gonna kick me
eviction.
out. So
Yeah, and if they want to get nasty, then if you get the police involved, you probably still can't even put them out.
no, right.
You know what I mean? They got to go to court and all this stuff, get somebody else out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
All right. Anyone come on? Okay, guys. Well, thank you, guys.
well, I want to thank you all for listening to us. We are Experience, Strength, and Hope, and that's what we shared today. Our experience, strength, and hope. We hope you got something from it. Stay tuned. There's more to come. Thank you.
Part 2 coming. We will be jumping outside.
Yeah, definitely part 2.
We're gonna do it with
part
our.
3.
We're gonna. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do it with our wives. We're gonna have our wives with us, and we can piggyback off of each other and discuss, in more detail about marriage, being in church in marriage, being in the world in marriage, just being married and being a couple and living. We'll talk about the different aspects of it and how we get along with each other. All right. Till next time.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below. Thank you.